Alright, so I'm back home and I got the Blazer in the garage, as you can see. There's a couple things I want to change about it before the We Rock event. Main thing being I want to strengthen up where I ripped off the link, and then also I want to build a new skid plate for it. I want to flat belly this thing. I want, so if you get on a rock, I want it just to slide right off. And I have hit the oil pan a couple times very slightly. So I want to extend the skid plate forward and go underneath the oil pan and everything like that. Also, I got a new camera setup, so hopefully it's a little bit better. It's probably pretty close to the same, but it's more of a quality of life kind of thing. It's just more user friendly and everything like that. So hopefully the quality is a little bit better. Hopefully I can get some better videos for you guys with this new setup. But the first thing I'm going to do is just get this thing pulled back outside and wash it off, because I haven't done that yet. I actually pulled it in here last night. So I'm going to get it pulled outside and just spray it off with the hose real quick. Alright, so I got the Blazer washed off and pulled back into the shop. So I've got this 1/4-inch sheet of steel, and I think this is basically perfect size for what I want to do. So it'll come from the rear links all the way forward, and the oil pans here, transmission, transfer case. So all that stuff will be covered by one sheet, and it's actually like the perfect width I want as well. So right now, if we look under here, right now it's got this kind of skid plate with the links mounted to it. So what that sheet will do is come from this, my rear link mount, and go all the way forward to underneath my oil pan, which is right there. So I think that'll be better. I think it's going to definitely perform better, and when you get on rock, it'll slide a lot better. So, and I also want to move these links kind of in and up a little bit more as well to get them out of the way, because I get hung up on these a lot as well. So first thing I got to do though is just pull all of this stuff out, and since my links mount to it, I got to pull the coilovers out and get everything on jack stands so I can pull those links out without having any pressure on things. Alright, and there it is. There's the old skid plate. So now I can start working on the new skid plate. Well, obviously, as you can see, that one's only that long. This one's going to be much longer and protect a lot more stuff. So yeah, now I'm going to get some tube. It's back over there, and start figuring out exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to go underneath with this, hold it up there, and get an idea for exactly how I want to build everything, make sure it's going to clear everything. Drive shaft's got to go through over here somewhere, upper link's got to go through over here somewhere. So alright, so I crawled under there and I held up the skid plate material, and I kind of marked it out here a little bit. So you can see I'm gonna have to angle it right here for the upper link, and then over here I'm gonna have to cut out a notch like that so the drive shaft can clear it. So I'm gonna build it in 2 pieces. I can't bend a radius this tight, so I'm gonna have to build it in 2 separate pieces. So I'm gonna bend it here, and then I'm gonna bend it 90 at the end, and then at the end I'll cut them and weld them together so it matches the size here. But I'm gonna use this as a template, and I'm gonna cut out some tube and start bending it to fit this shape I have here. And then once I got that all made out, I'll cut the plate here and weld it in there. Alright, so this is what I got so far. I already went under and held it up there, and it's going to work really well. So now I'm going to start adding kind of supports and braces in it. So I was thinking, you know, obviously back here I'll do one that kind of, you know, goes straight across here, and then I'll probably end up doing like a, let me grab this. Like that kind of thing in the middle. You know, kind of do a straight here, then zigzag. So I think that'll be strong, and it'll use not as much material. So I think that's going to be the best way to go about doing it. So I'm going to start notching out pipes, and well, I got to get my tube notcher put back into the drill press and stuff. And then I'll start notching out pipes to fit in here and build it all up like that. And then once I do that, I can actually start tacking it into place and building the supports that go from this to the frame. All right, so as you guys saw, I just got it all welded up. So now I got it thrown up in here. As you can see, so I got those tube clamps right here, you know, going from the tube, and I'll just weld it right to that. And then I'm gonna do some bars, probably one somewhere right here, one somewhere right here, and then the link's gonna mount about right there. And then I'll also do, you know, 2 more up here in the front. So in total it'll have 8 mounting points. But I think it turned out pretty good. Oh, that turned off. So obviously it's gonna have a flat piece of 1/4 inch across the whole thing. I don't know why that keeps turning off, but it's gonna have a flat piece of 1/4 inch across the whole thing. So it's just gonna be nice and flat, slide off of obstacles easily, and now it protects oil pan, transmission, all that kind of stuff. So, but it's getting late, so I'm gonna continue working on this tomorrow. So it is tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day. I just got back from the hardware store, so I went and got a bunch of bolts and some 1.5" flat strap. So first thing I'm gonna do is cut out 4 of these flanges, so I can at least get 2 supports built for the skid plate, so that way it'll be held in with 4 supports. I can get rid of all the jack stands, and then I can start working on the link mounts. And then once I get that all figured out, then I'll go back and finish the rest of the mounts. So I already got these measured out. They're going to be 1.5" by 3.5", and then they're going to have 2 1/2" bolts in each one. So I need 4 of them to build two supports so they can sandwich them together and it'll all come apart and stuff. So I'm gonna get all this stuff cut out, and then I'm gonna get some tubing made. I need to notch one side of it and then cut the other side, and then I'll show you guys what I'm trying to accomplish here, and it'll make a little bit more sense. So I'm just gonna get this stuff cut out. All right, so I got 2 out of 6 of the mounts made. So I already did 2 of them. There's gonna be 8 total. So now it's held on 4 places. Next thing I wanna do is start working on the links. I'll show you guys that in a little bit, but this is my old skid plate, and it's got these nice brackets on here already. So I'm gonna cut these out and reuse them and just kinda modify them a little bit and make them work in my new, on the new skid plate. I think that's going to be easier than building some from scratch. So I'm going to get to cutting these off, and then once I got them cut off, then I'll kind of hold them up into place and see what I need to do to modify them to make them work. So I'm just going to cut these off. Alright, so since the last time I was on camera here, you saw me cutting those brackets off of the old skid plate. And I got them to work and I tacked them in there, and I was just about to show you guys, and then I decided I didn't like it. So I pulled the skid plate back out and I kind of changed plans a little bit, and then I just kind of kept going. I didn't get too far, but I'm going to show you what I got. So originally I had those brackets, and where this is flat right here, it was mounted to the bottom of this tube. So if you can imagine this flat right here welded to the bottom of this tube. That put the bolt right here, and I could get the bolt in just barely right here. So the bolt was about right there. I didn't like that because it hung down, you know, past the belly. And the whole reason I'm doing this is to get a flatter belly. So I just didn't like how it looked. I think I have a picture of it. I'll throw a picture of what it looked like up in the video so you guys can see that. But then I decided to move it up, and so I plasma cut a hole in the side of the tube here and welded the nut into it. So the nut is welded in there, and then it actually goes into the tube. The only downside of doing it right here, because I matched it to the angle so it kind of angles up a little bit instead of just being flat, is the bolt can't come out unless the skid plate's off. So in order to get this on, I have to bolt the links up and then bolt the skid plate up. It's kind of a pain, but it's gonna be a lot better. So I think it's worth kind of the trade-off, you know. And I really don't need to pull the links out of this, like, ever. And if I do, it's not a huge deal to just drop the skid plate. So I think it's a pretty good compromise of both ways. It's going to give it a really flat bottom. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's actually in there. But right now, and another reason I didn't want to do this is because when I move these up like this, it's going to hit my third link. My third link mounts on the frame about right here. And if these are down here, there's enough clearance and everything, and separation and all that kind of stuff. But now that I moved the link up here, now that the link bracket's in the way, then the link's gonna come up and hit it. So now I have to move the whole third link up. So I'm just kind of creating more work for me, but at the end of the day, I think it's gonna be a lot better. It's gonna look better, it's gonna work better. So now, next thing I'm gonna do is get under the blazer with the plasma cutter and cut that third link off the frame. So right there is the third link. And the link bracket's gonna mount right here, and then the lower link actually needs to go kind of up here when it up travels, and it's gonna hit this. So I need to cut this whole box off here and redo that. So there's a little bit more clearance here for the link. I don't think I'm gonna have any clearance issues on the frame. I checked over on that side, and it looks like it's gonna clear just fine. So if I get this out of the way, it'll be good. But another thing I gotta watch out for is this upper link. I can't move it too high because the starter's right there and the frame's right there. So it's all really close to each other, but I think I can get it to work. I just need to cut this out, and I think I'm gonna actually do this joint sideways instead of vertical like that, and move it up and kind of over just a little bit. And yeah, so that's the plan anyway. So I'm gonna get this cut off and go from there. Okay, so as you can see right there, I got the upper link all done. Yeah, as you can see, it's mounted sideways, like I was saying. And then I put a brace here as well. So it's all 1/4 inch plated, and then that's welded on, and then it's got a brace going that way right there too, just to make it a little bit stronger. So next thing I'm gonna do is get that skid plate and throw it back in here and see if everything's gonna clear and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get that thrown in. And if you can't tell, I'm pretty tired. I've been working on this all day, so I want to get that skid plate in, and then I'll probably call it a night, but continue working on it tomorrow. Takes a lot. It's a lot of time doing this, so fingers crossed everything's gonna work out good. I measured everything and checked, so should be. I just gotta, you know, obviously make sure everything's gonna clear and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna set the camera down and get that skid plate in. I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's in. All right, and there it is. Super happy with that. Like, just look how flat that is. You know, upper links super up, tucked out of the way. Rear links are the lowest part now, but that's, I ain't dealing with that right now. Well, I probably will never change that. That's just gonna stay like that. But like all the way forward, up under the oil pan, all the way back, just super flat. And that is all getting plated in too. It's not gonna just be tube like that. But I am super happy with how flat I was able to get this. But I'm tired. It's midnight again. So once again, it is tomorrow. All right, well, I really wanted to get this done in one video, but I'm just not gonna be able to. I ran out of argon, and yeah, I'm going back to 2 videos a week. So this video's got to go up on Monday, so I just don't have time to get argon and everything. So fortunately, this is gonna be a 2-part video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the first part, and the second part I'm gonna come back and finish the skid plate up. So yeah, so I got a decent amount of work done. It is a lot of work. There's about 30 feet of tube in this skid plate, believe it or not. So it's a lot of tube, a lot of welding, a lot of time going into this. There's a lot of thought in designing it and, you know, making sure everything works and stuff like that. So I've been working, you know, 12-hour days on this and trying to get it done for you guys, but it's gonna be a 2-part video, no big deal. But yeah, so I'll be posting on Mondays and Thursdays now, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.